Hello there. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday and the series on butterfly that I have been bringing to you. And today I will be talking, today will be the part three on this butterfly series. And I have called this part three, How Long Caterpillar? And on part two, I talked about, why not straight up butterfly? Why do I have to be a caterpillar? And I did mention some of the things that, will be required from a caterpillar before it becomes a butterfly. And I hope if you haven't watched it so far, I encourage you to take time out, go to my YouTube channel, Chidua Circle, and watch that because there are some nuggets that will really help you. So, having said that, on this part three, I'm talking about how long caterpillar. And why I'm saying how long caterpillar is that sometimes, we might find ourselves in a situation that is not really what we're expecting. And we want to jumpstart. We want to move right to the next level. And you're thinking, okay, how long am I going to be in this situation before my situation changes? How long am I going to go through this before I can get to the next level? But here's the thing, that situation you're in is not meant to destroy you, but it's actually preparing you for your next level. You see, the caterpillar, while it's in the pupa stage that now takes it into the cocoon, it's never in a hurry. It doesn't complain. It's not in a hurry for that stage to be over so that it can be a butterfly. But because what happens is that it is in that cocoon, it is in that stage and state that everything that the caterpillar needs to become a butterfly is developed. Everything that it needs to become a beautiful butterfly is developed while it is in that waiting room called a cocoon. And I understand it takes about between 5 to 21 days for a caterpillar in that cocoon stage to become a butterfly. And I understand that those ones that are even in harsh conditions, it takes them a longer time. But you will never see a caterpillar trying to force open the cocoon to become a butterfly. It is only when that stage is fully developed that the beautiful butterfly emerges, because if that caterpillar would try to cut short the situation or that stage, it will never become a beautiful butterfly. It will never fly. And that's why sometimes when you see someone try to force open the cocoon, that butterfly can never fly. So everything you need to be in your next level is being developed while you are in your waiting room. I understand that it's not a good place. It's not a place that you would rather choose to be in, because you have your plans for the next level, you have things you want to do, and you have all your plans put together, and you're thinking it's taking too long. But this is life's way of preparing us. I call it the waiting room. And if you rush out of that waiting room, here's what can happen. You will not take advantage of the things that you would have learned. There are some life virtues that you will learn while you are in a situation that is not very comfortable. You learn patience, and I may have mentioned it before, especially if you have been following me through the years as I do my teaching series. You learn patience, you learn compassion, you become less judgmental and less critical. Why? Because some of the things you would have criticized someone else about, some of the things that you would have judged someone else, when you see yourself going through those situations, then you'll understand that there are certain things that are beyond our control. There are some things about yourself that right now, as you're not even aware of. There are some traits, both strengths and weaknesses that you have that are not even known to you until you go through certain situations in life. Then you realize, oh my goodness, I never knew that I could say this. I never knew that I could do that. But this is what happens when fire, and when I talk about fire, I'm not talking about physical fire. I'm talking about affliction. I'm talking about trials and tribulations. When trials and tribulations of life hit us, That is when you'll see the things that are inside of you. That is when things that you never thought you could say, you begin to say them. You begin to complain. There are so many things, and then you begin to see a different version of yourself. And when you have, by the grace of God, passed through that stage, and you see someone else going through them and acting in a certain way, you remember your own days. So that is why when we go through things, after we have gone through a situation and crossed over to the other side, you realize that you become less judgmental, because it is said, never judge a man until you have walked half mile in his shoes. It is easy to say, oh, why is he doing that? Why is she acting like that? But once you go through what that person has gone through, then you will understand that some things are easier said than done. So why am I saying this? While you are in that cocoon, while you are in that waiting room of your life, no matter what it is, maybe you're in transition from one job to another, or maybe it's in a relationship. You're waiting for your relational status to change. Maybe you feel like you've been single for too long. Ask us, find out, what are some virtues? What is it that I'm looking for in a mate? Do I have those qualities? Because you cannot expect someone to have what you don't have. So what are some qualities that I want in a mate? Do I have those qualities? And that waiting room, or that time of waiting in your life, becomes a time for you to begin to develop those things that you want. And some of those things that you don't want in a mate, and you see them in your life, or maybe people around, because sometimes we might have a blind spot. You don't see yourself the way other people see you. Sometimes it's good to ask people that you can trust that are around you. Tell me about me. What are some things that you see about me? What do you think are my strengths and my weaknesses? And, be open-minded. I'm talking about people that have your best interest at heart. You ask them this crucial questions, so that when they give you the answers, and if you know that these are not things you want from a mate, you begin to work on yourself. So this is what happens, because while the caterpillar is in the cocoon, it is developing. It is constantly developing. It is not passive in that cocoon, even though we don't see it, but so much is going on inside that cocoon. So while you are waiting to transform from a caterpillar to a beautiful butterfly, while you are waiting to go to your next stage, to that next level, to build that business, to go into that thriving relationship, why don't you start now to develop the qualities that you will need, so that when you move to that next level, you can put them into practice, so that those things that you will have learned while you are waiting, you put them into what I call your toolbox, so that when that time now comes, you can bring in one after another, and they go to advantage for you. So going back to relationships, so when they tell you some of the things that are not really good, and you think that is not something I want in a relationship, you begin to work on yourself, and you realize that by the time that waiting period is over, you would have grown, because by the time it's 21 years, assuming the conditions are favorable, or the cocoon is in a place where the conditions are favorable, so we're looking at about between 5 to 21 days. Within that 21 days, everything the caterpillar needs to become a full-grown butterfly actively developed, so that once that cocoon breaks open, that butterfly is ready to go and explore the world. So while you're instead of passively waiting and complaining, use that time to do some constructive things. Put some things that are out of order in your life. Work on yourself, and you realize that time has flown, because it is when you are idle that you're constantly looking at the time, and it seems like it's taking forever. So you're asking yourself, how long will this situation last? How long am I going to be in this condition before it changes? Use it as a time to be busy. Use it as a preparation time for your next level. If it is a business, go and learn what it would take for that business to be successful. Research people that are in that business. What are some of the things that they did? What were some of their mistakes? And what are some of the things that they are doing right now that is working for them? So that when you start your business, when you're ready to fly like the butterfly, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You have everything that you need together, waiting for that cocoon to burst open so that you can fly. There is a quote that I love so much. It says, "Keep up your faith to go high and fly." Even after so many pains and sorrow, you can turn from a caterpillar to a butterfly. Life gives you a second chance, a call to grow. So, just like I said at the beginning, while that caterpillar is inside the cocoon, it looks like nothing to the outside world. It looks like nothing is happening, but that caterpillar is developing. That caterpillar is growing. The strength, because when you really look at a caterpillar is very slow. In that caterpillar stage, it is very vulnerable. A bird can eat it. A lizard can eat it. Somebody can crush it underneath on the foot without even knowing. But when it becomes a butterfly, you realize that it is at a better advantage. When a bird comes to get it, it will fly. When a lizard comes, it will fly. So now at that butterfly stage, it has more qualities. It is at a better advantage to survive, to excel than it was in that caterpillar stage. So, what am I saying? Now is the time while you are waiting to move to your next level. This is the time to develop everything, gather everything that you need so that when you get to your next level, you are ready to thrive. You're not going to be looking back to say, oh, I need to get this, oh, I need to get that. And this become weights that would drag you back. Whereas if you have put into motion, understanding that this is a preparation time for me. So instead of asking the question, how long will I be in this situation? You will now tell yourself, this is a time of preparation for me, so that by the time this season is over, because it will be over, remember that everything that has a beginning has an end. So that by the time your caterpillar season is over, you are ready to fly like a butterfly. If you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you will subscribe to my YouTube channel, Chidua Circle, and also encourage your friends, your family, your co-workers, everybody that is in your network, in your circle, to subscribe, because I will always be bringing you topics that will inspire you to become the best version of yourself. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Peace and bye.